For the past few weeks, I've been receiving messages on my DM from different people asking me several questions about charity work visa. I know I've made a couple of videos on charity work visa, and I've also made video on companies sponsoring work visa charity field. So I've been receiving messages from several persons. So it's difficult for me to actually attend to all of these messages. So in this video, I'm going to be addressing those questions that people have been asking about this particular work visa. And I'm also going to show you some of the companies that are currently recruiting, that are currently hiring people under this work visa, and they are sponsoring a certificate of sponsorship for them. So if you are interested in charity work, UK charity work visa, make sure you stick around and watch this video to the end. So guys, how have you guys been? I know it's been a couple of weeks since I last put out videos on this channel. I've just been so busy. I've been overwhelmed with a lot of personal, activities. But now I am back again, and I'm going to be giving you different videos back to back. And as for those that came to my DM to check on me, many of my subscribers showed up and showed me concern, and they checked on me to ask, where have you been, why have you not been posting video. I really appreciate you. That meant a lot to me. Henceforth, I can be able to keep pushing out a lot of videos that will be very handy to you guys. In case you're new to this channel, my name is Steven Ojo, and on this channel I talk about all things traveling abroad, settling abroad, work abroad, and I give vital information to foreigners abroad that are relevant to their day-to-day living in the countries in different countries. So if these are the things you would like to see on YouTube, please consider subscribing to this YouTube channel and like and comment on this our channel, and make sure you hit the notification bell so that you can be one of the first persons to be notified whenever we upload our videos. So without wasting much time, let us go right straight to the video. So basically, this video is going to contain brief highlights of what this visa is actually about, of what charity work visa is about, and all of the questions you have been asking is going to contain while I'm giving the highlight, you're going to get answers to those specific questions that you people have been asking me in my DM. So make sure you listen carefully. You're going to get answers to your question. Then after the highlight, I'm going to talk about companies that are currently sponsoring, companies that are currently issuing COS to volunteers to come to the country to work in different fields. So let us dive right in. So what is charity work visa? What is this charity work visa about? It is important for you to know that charity work visa is a temporary visa. It is not a permanent visa, and it does not lead to permanent settlement. It's a temporary work visa for individuals who have passion for a particular course or a particular field to come into the country and help out and volunteer to help out in that field. So it's basically a volunteering job. When you volunteer, you don't expect to be paid for such a job, so you don't expect payment at all. However, these companies in UK have um, loads of benefits that they can provide for you. For example, some of the companies may provide free accommodation for you, they may provide free meal for you, they may give stipends for other upkeep depending on the hospitality package of different companies. But it's not entirely free. You're not entirely left to yourself. So helps come from different corners. So if you must have passion to be able to actually prosper in this field, because you are actually demonstrating your passion. For instance, if you have passion for combating climate change, then you volunteer to come to the UK to join that organization that are fostering different policies or different methods to lower carbon emission. So you wouldn't do that job because you want to be paid. You're doing that job because you actually have passion for that job. So like I said, you definitely get something from the company, but that is not the focus of that visa. And it is also important for you to know that under this visa, you can stay in the country for up to, and that's after the first 12 months. So when the company still require your volunteership in the country, then they can renew the visa for you. So the good thing about this visa is that you can actually come into the country with your dependents. That means you can come with your spouse, you can come with your dependent children that are below the age of 18. So you can come with them to this country. They can be under your visa. So that might also serve as a cushion for you, because if you are volunteering and you have a spouse, your spouse can actually pick up a full-time job with other organizations, and your dependent children can actually also benefit from the free education or whatsoever that every other visa holders in the country benefit from. And again, I'll be receiving questions. People ask whether you can switch under this visa. You cannot potentially switch under this visa. You cannot switch under this visa. If you want to switch to other work visa, you may have to leave the country and go and make the application outside of the country. So that's the position. However, your dependents can actually get a full-time employment with other organizations, and then they can then you can then apply as dependent under them. So I think it is in this view that you can actually switch out of your charity visa to other visas. So that's why this actually avails more opportunity to married couples or partners, as the case may be. So when you have this charity work visa, there are some things that you are actually by the rule of this visa that you can do under this visa, and there are some things that you cannot do. So what are the things that you can actually do when you have this visa and you're now in the country? One of the things is that you can study, though you're going to need ATAS, but you can actually use this under this visa. You can go to the uni to study certain courses and use that to better your academic chances and widen more opportunities for yourself. So you can study under this visa. Another thing that you can do when you have this visa is that while working for your sponsor, that is the organization that issued the certificate of sponsorship to you, you can actually get a second job. You see, so the first one you're doing is volunteering. You're volunteering in that organization, but this visa allows you to, because you're not going to be working all day, all week. It could be that you go to work maybe 2 times or 3 times a week for your volunteering job. So you still have lots of time to actually do things. So you can use that time to either study or pick up a second job. But that second job, you are not allowed to work above a maximum period of 20 hours per week. 20 hours per week. That's 80 hours um, per month. So that's another good thing about this visa. It's not like you will be completely tied to that organization. You can actually do loads and lots of other things for yourself. And like I mentioned earlier, another benefit is that you can bring your partner and children, and if they are eligible, you can bring them with you. So, what are the things that you cannot do under this visa? What are the restrictions of this visa? Number one, you cannot, like I mentioned earlier, you are not to receive payment for work. That's not to say that you don't get out of pocket expenses, stipends, and upkeep, but you shouldn't expect payment for work because you are merely volunteering. And you cannot take up a permanent job. So even your second job that you're doing must not be a permanent job because of the type of visa you're under. That's why they restricted it to 20 hours. So it cannot be a permanent job. So that's why I mentioned earlier that if you want to convert, you will have to either return back to your home country, or you can join your dependent who may have, secured a different visa route. And you cannot get public funds. Same is applicable to students. You cannot get public funds. You cannot apply to get council house, council flat. So you'll be very careful with all of this, so you don't breach the rules of your visa. So guys, this is one of the organization that can sponsor this charity work visa for you. They are actively sponsoring for volunteers from all over the world, from overseas, to come and volunteer at their place. And this is Lee Abbey. And this particular one is located in London. I think they also have a place in Devon. So endeavor to actually check their several locations and pick the one that is suitable for you. So this is it. Apply to join the team. Let us go down and see what they've got. And before you come here, make sure you go and read their mission, their vision, and really understand what this organization is all about. So we are so glad you like to explore joining the team as a residential community member, that's voluntary worker. They said you will need an up-to-date photo of yourself, detail of your passport, travel and funding arrangements if you're applying from overseas, and you need references. So the form will probably take at least 40 minutes to complete, but at any time you can scroll to the bottom and click save and continue later, just in case something else come up while filling this form. You can quickly go down to the bottom and save your progress, and then you can potentially come back to complete it later on. So they said before you start, please note it is a genuine occupational requirement that you must be a practicing Christian. This is for real Christian, okay? Because it's a Christian organization and you're going to be in Christian community, so that their doings, their spiritual or rituals will not be strange to you. You have to actually be a Christian. um, they said you have to have the evidence of growing Christian faith and involvement in a local church. So Lake Abbey London does not have suitable accommodation. Please kindly take note of this before you determine while determining whether you should put in your forward your interest for this opportunity. Lee Abbey London does not have suitable accommodation for married couples or families. So this is for a single individual. So I guess you have to explore other of their centers in the UK, because I think they also have in Devon, and just Google it up and explore other of their locations in the UK that may have the facility to accommodate you and your family, just in case you are a family person. But otherwise, you can go ahead and apply. So Lee Abbey London may not be for you. You see, so if you're a married couple, Lee Abbey London may not be for you. We will not issue certificate of sponsorship for couples or families. You will be expected to share a bedroom with other members of our community. 4. Lee Abbey London is residential Christian community. Living, working, and worshiping together with us in community is a requirement. So you must really be, entrenched with this community of Christians, because you'll be living with them, worship together with them, and then walk with them. So some of the initial questions they have for you is, let's start with a few questions to help us avoid asking for irrelevant information later on. It is important that you answer this honestly and openly. Do you believe in Jesus as Lord and have a living relationship with God that affects the way you live your life daily? The way you live your daily life? Yes or no? Are you married or single? Do you have dependent children? You know, just answer those questions and continue. It's basically a straightforward process to apply. So If you know you meet the conditions here, go right on and put in your application, because Lee Abbey is we issue a certificate of sponsorship